Hello everybody and welcome back to another match review that I did for the Fulham match yesterday. For this match review, guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and keep this one a bit short and to the point, really. And at the end of the video, what I'm going to be discussing the team I think we should throw out against Middlesbrough, who we have on Saturday. And I want you guys to comment in the comments down below what you think the team should be. I definitely think we should rotate. And so let's just get right into the match review now. So in the end, guys, I think it came to bite Grayson back, really, that he didn't rotate the squad today. I mean, two players went off with injuries, which was hugely frustrating for us. And a big downside on the match, really. We had Tom Clark and Callum Woods both going off with injuries in the first half, and that had a major setback for us, as we had a lot of flair players on the bench, and you know, we had players like Daniel Johnson, Robinson, Doyle, Beckford all on the bench for the second half, and the fact that we could only bring one on, I thought that seriously damaged our chances of getting back into the match. But in all honesty, I thought we started out the much better side against Fulham. Up until they scored, I thought we were absolutely dominant over them. We had a lot of chances. We were really putting them to the sword in the first half, and we were really going for it. But then they got the ball on the counter-attack, and Ross McCormack managed to round our keeper, Lindegaard, and score. I must say that I was not impressed by the defending for that goal. Tom Clark and Bailey Wright, not good defending at all from them, and McCormack, he was always going to finish that, a striker of his calibre. So I was a bit disappointed with the goal that they scored. As soon as their first goal went in, that's just when they started time wasting. Literally, I couldn't believe it, but in the first half, they just wasted so much time, and I understand it. You know, when you get into like the 80th minute, 70th minute, something like that, when you're in a match, I totally get, you know, wasting time on the ball. Preston do it all the time. But to waste time from the first half, to take so long with goal kicks and throw-ins from the first half, I just don't understand that, if I'm being honest. And the amount of Fulham players that were going down with head injuries, it just got ludicrous after a while. You know, they were going down with head injuries, staying down for about 3 minutes, and then getting up straight after and running around like as if they were fine. It was really frustrating, really, and it meant that we found it quite hard to get back into the match. In the first half in general, I'd say that Jordan Hugill was our best player in the first half. I thought a number of players had quite poor performances. However, there was one moment of madness from Jordan Hugill which he really needs to sort out and snap it out of his game. There was one moment where Hugill lost the ball, and then Phil managed to play the ball around a little bit. Hugill was obviously frustrated by this, so he went in at full power, full speed, running into a guy, and he was very late making a challenge. And I thought the referee was quite lenient with him, only to give a yellow card, if I'm being honest. I mean, I've seen, you know, people do challenges like that and get a red card in the past, so I think Hugill was quite relieved that he only got a yellow card for that challenge. You know, on another day, that could have been a red card, and had that been a red card, honestly, I don't think we'd have got anywhere nearer to getting back into this game than we did, if I'm being honest. I thought that would have seriously jeopardised our game plan. And, you know, since we'd already made 2 substitutions by that point, he honestly needs to sort that out of his game, if I'm being honest. But saying that, he did have a very good first half. He held the ball up pretty well. Then in the second half, I thought we played better in the second half. We played with a higher tempo in the second half, and in the end, Malik Vermeil managed to get our equaliser, and it was an extremely good goal. It was a very good finish indeed. I think he beat 2 men. One he went round, the other he had like a chop inside, and in the end, the ball just went under their keeper. So it was a very good finish from Malik Vermeil in the end, and I was very happy for that indeed. It was a good goal, and he probably deserved it as well. You know, he's been kept out of the team for a while by Callum Woods, who's been very good lately. But ever since when Vermeil was dropped, he wasn't playing bad, he was playing good. It's only because he's been kept out of the team because Callum Woods has been so good recently, so he's definitely deserved his chance. Also in the second half, I thought Adam Reach had a much bigger impact. In the first half, it was a bit strange, really, because for most of the first half, I'm not joking, Adam Reach was playing left back more than he was left mid or left wing. He was so deep in the first half, which is really frustrating because he's probably one of our best players we have at the moment. So we really, to get the most out of him, he needs to play further up, but he was playing so deep in the first half just to cover his man. It was just a bit frustrating, but in the second half, he was let off his chain a little bit, and he was allowed to go forward a lot more, and he then had a bigger influence on the match, so I thought he had a much better game in the second half. And then the second goal Fulham scored was extremely frustrating, yes again. If you've not seen it, basically it was a Ross McCormack free kick. Lindegaard made a good save to tip it onto the post, and then basically the first man that was there was Moussa Dembele for Fulham, who managed to get an easy tap in into the back of the net. You know, our players weren't really too alert for that, and yet again, it's another thing we need to work on, really, because it's just so frustrating, because the 2 goals we conceded were so avoidable in this match, and that's just the difference between getting 3 points and not. The goals we conceded were so avoidable, and how we avoided them, you know, we dominated the match, absolutely. I'll put the match stats to the side of me. We absolutely dominated this match, so it's so frustrating that we didn't walk away with anything, because we at least warranted a point from how we played. So overall, guys, I'd say that Fulham, I wasn't really too impressed with Fulham's tactics of a lot of time wasted on the ball and a lot of going down with injuries, which was just frustrating, you know. I can understand, you know, they're down at the bottom of the table and they needed the points a lot more than we did, so you can definitely see that with the way they were playing, but it was just frustrating for us that that's the way they went about the match. You know, Grayson came out at the end of the game and said he didn't approve of Fulham's tactics either, so that backs me up in what I'm saying here. But I also thought that Ben Pearson got man of the match. In the first half, I didn't think he was that good, but the second half, I think he warranted that. He played well in the second half. Alan Brown tonight, he had a very poor match, which was a bit strange for Alan Brown. You know, Alan Brown, I'd say, has been one of our most consistent players this season, so hopefully that's just a one-off and not him tailing off towards the end of the season now, because he had his probably poorest match of the season, I'd say, tonight. Very poor indeed. He couldn't nothing was coming off for him tonight. So I hope that he fixes that for the Middlesbrough match of the weekend. But very strange for him. I thought that Bailey Wright in the first half was very poor, but in the second half I thought he rectified that. He was very good in the second half. Kate Ross McCormick very quiet in open play, and I thought, you know, he played very well in the second half. Joe Garner didn't really have much to do, if I'm being honest. I mean, I think he should have had a goal where I think it was Cunningham put a ball into him. He chested it down, managed to get the shot, but the goalkeeper sort of dived on the ball. I think he should have done a lot better with that and possibly got a goal for himself. But apart from that, that's all I have to say really for this Fulham. So guys, you can now see to the side of me the team that I would throw out for the Fulham match. So you'll see the substitutes below me. This is I'm not actually sure whether Tom Clark and Callum Woods will be fit for this match. I'm going under the assumption that Tom Clark may be back, but Callum Woods won't be. So I've left both of them out of the team just in case they're not back, and you know, just to give them a rest, I've decided to put Tom Clark on the bench. So the team I've gone for Lindegaard in net. Then the back four, the Mail, Paul Huntington, Bailey Wright and Cunningham. I think that would be a solid back four. Then I've gone for like a 4-4-2 formation. The two holding midfielders I've gone for are Alan Brown and Ben Pearson. The reason I'm not brought DJ back into the side yet is because playing Middlesbrough, I feel like we'll need two ball-winning midfielders. I think that's what we've got in Alan Brown and Ben Pearson. I don't think DJ offers that really. And then I've got Gallagher out to the left, Robinson out to the right. I give Robinson a game, see what he can do. I think he's been quite unlucky not to get a game recently, as he was playing quite well before he's been dropped out of the team. And then the forward two, I drop Hugel. He came off the pitch with an ice pack, and he looked very tired. You know, he's put a big shift in for us in his last 2 or 3 matches for us. So I give Hugel a rest for this match and put him on the bench. And I don't think that Beckford's ready for a start yet. And Erin Doyle, before he's got dropped, he scored 2 goals in 2 games, so I'd start Erin Doyle if I'm being honest. But that's the team I'd go for, guys, up front with Joe Garner. So that's the team I'd go for. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of that, whether you agree or not. Let me know what you thought of the game as well. And that basically, all the playoff hopes are gone now, basically. That's the end of it, I'd say. But thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you do leave a like. Check out all the links in the description down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.